So here we go again. The people who hate Nintendo. Nintendo is the villain of the gaming industry, they say. So the Switch 2 isn't out yet, obviously. So Nintendo is not gonna have the greatest of years. We all know, yeah. But shut out of the TGAs, even non-TGA awards shut them out. Two Go. Oh yes, and they were still calling Pete Showtime a Girl Boss game and that Zelda games. Okay, yeah. Yeah, but we're still calling the Pete's game a Gold Boss game and the Zelda game a Gold Boss. But the Stellar Blade's not a Gold Boss game because he has boobs. That's how they go. Okay. Yeah. Switch 2 is going to be on its 2 year because the innocent and no one will buy any home the guns will buy. The Switch has not been delayed for 2 years. I think they're talking about that because the Switch Pro was supposed to release in 2020. Okay, the Switch Pro was not real. I'm sorry to tell you this, but the Switch Pro was not real, and the Switch 2 was actually supposed to release in 2024. But I think there were made some kinks with the console. Nintendo wanted to fix before the console comes out, like with the Joy-Con and stuff. But Nintendo has never fixed the Joy-Con. Okay, yeah. But having to sit back to Vietnam debate that, why do you care about Vietnam so much? Okay, and also the X is still less expensive. I think the Xbox at same price as the PlayStation 5. The same 5 IPs that have been selling for 20 years is all you have to offer. Oh yes, um, Nintendo created Splatoon quite recently. That was created 2015. That was released 10 years ago, and some of these IPs have been around for more, like Pokemon, Mario, and if you want to really, as far as it's always Nintendo's the villain. But Hollywood has been relying on the same IPs for like the past 20 years too. Batman, Superman, Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, Star Wars. Okay, they're remaking Beetlejuice. They're remaking Twister. Okay. Oh yeah, Hollywood has the same exact problem that Nintendo supposedly has. Okay, Hollywood is relying on the same IPs over and over and over again, and I think you'll eventually not be able to fool people anymore. Okay, have creator don't know will be most people don't use anyways, and sorry, most people actually buy the games, okay, and not pirate games, which is illegal, and have to rip apart public trust from the people who just want to play a product. Oh yes, no one has ripped apart Nintendo's people's public trust in Nintendo. First of all, most people don't emulate outside of YouTubers, okay, because it's easier to record videos on emulated devices, okay, and most of those YouTubers usually own the game anyways. Most people buy the games, okay. I don't understand why these people are making like emulation this huge issue that everybody needs to worry about. But first of all, the public trust was if you emulate a game, you must own it. But the problem is, most of these people who are emulating the games are using it to pirate and play the games illegally. The hype towards the Switch 2 is a epitome of the modern toxic positivity. Anyone thinking of a cure head can see this major issues on the horizon, and I think the town's ignoring because of the good times. I don't really see many major issues with Nintendo. I really don't understand why Nintendo, despite considering the fact that EA and Sheep Baby Inc. exist, is painted as the literal villain of the gaming industry. Okay, they're painted as the you know literal villain of the gaming industry, and I just don't understand that that yeah but basically I just don't understand why Nintendo is seen as the villain, the evil company of the gaming industry. Okay, and I just find it funny they still consider Nintendo games just for babies. I wonder what games does this guy play, honestly. Like, does he only play, like, Call of Duty? Or maybe he might, or the other type of people who hate Nintendo games are people who constantly just play from software games. And they can't play anything else because they'll be too easy for them. And you must play the real games. Yeah, those are the two easily worst fandoms of all of them. Far worse than any Nintendo fan out there. And yes, there are some pretty bad Nintendo fans out there. Now, some pretty, but the Switch, every media outlet, every major media outlet is saying the Switch 2 will sell far better than these people think it will. Okay, when the Switch came out, people were worried that the Switch would not do too well, but Nintendo managed to do pretty well, and Nintendo did pretty well with the Switch. They did better than they ever did since the Wii and DS era. Okay, they did better than ever they did. Of course, they did. But the difference between the Wii and DS era, the DS era and Wii era, most people had both. So, and most people only had the DS, obviously. But and of course, let's talk about the Game Awards. No one cares about the Game Awards, okay? No one cares about, like, Nintendo was not going to release anything major this year because it's a transitional year for Nintendo for the new console, okay? Nintendo's not going to Sony and release, these huge games on the year of its transition. They're going to save the big games for the next console. Which is something that honestly Sony sort of done, where, Ghost of Tsushima and The Last of Us Part 2. Both games sort of been launch titles for the PS5. Okay? Considering the fact they were releasing the PS5 and they released PS5 in 2020, okay, there was no reason the PS5, version, okay, here, sort of been released, like that, okay? There was no reason the PS5 version, okay? There's no reason The Last of Us Part 2 and Ghost of Tsushima sort of been launch games for the PS5. So Sony can at least have games that launch for the PS5. Not just Spider-Man Miles Morales spin-off that nobody cared about. Okay? As well. And they did have, like, Demon Souls remake, but that was mostly for hardcore gamers. They sort of at least had those two games that launched for the PS5 as well. Maybe people wanted people to buy them for the PS4, but they sort of at least say, hey, we'll release some of the PS4 on the dates we gotta put them out, but also for our next console, if you want to wait for the next console, you can. But again, Nintendo's the villain of the gaming industry here, not Sony, not everybody else. Also, Nintendo doesn't do all the predatory practices a lot of other companies do, like constant microtransactions, ultimate editions which cost over $100. Okay, the season pass stuff, which I don't think Nintendo does as of now. Heck, they put free updates over season pass, so people don't have to spend money for extra content. But nope, people will still whine about Nintendo because Nintendo is the villain of the gaming industry. But yeah, that's all this video here. Goodbye.